Welcome to Ground Up Growth, where we share entrepreneurial insights, business strategies, and personal growth lessons to help listeners build success from the ground up.
Welcome back to Ground Up Growth. Today I have Hannah Pittman here. Hannah is the owner of Pittman Marketing. I'll let Hannah kind of dive into what she's got. But first, I do want to say that we now have a dedicated Instagram and Facebook page for Ground Up Growth. So if y'all get the chance, please go like, subscribe, follow, whatever we need to do there to boost that. So Hannah's no stranger to Ground Up Growth. Oddly enough, she is the one that has been behind producing the podcast. So this is a very interesting interview today. And also Hannah is moving forward. She is going to be a very integral part of Ground Up Growth because she is going to now co-host with me. So we're very excited about that. Hannah's awesome. She helps us in our real estate marketing, helped us with the podcast. She is brilliant. She has a very creative mind, and she is the owner of a business at a young age. So Hannah, thank you so much for coming on and ready to unpack this. So.
Thanks. I'm so excited to. Obviously, I love this podcast, and I love podcasts in general. So when we started working together and then this idea kind of evolved, I was so excited. And then seeing it come to life, you've had such great guests on, and you're a great host. Y'all have good conversations. You ask good questions. So I'm honored to even be here talking to you right now. And I'm really excited to start co-hosting and have a different perspective and just ask some of these questions. Like just sitting over there and recording it, a lot of times I have questions.
Right. And, I know. I need help.
But I can't like always just butt in
and just
stop the flow. So I'm excited to jump on and be in some of these conversations.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right.
So,
well, we need to know who Hannah Pittman is. So
okay.
Tell us where you're from.
Pittman. I'm originally from the Delta. So my parents grew up in the Delta. And
what part?
Benoit.
Okay.
Teeny, tiny. Like around Cleveland and Greenville.
Okay.
Yep. And so we lived there. They were farmers. And then my dad became a pastor. And we bebopped around after that. So the first church we were in Benoit, this is how tiny of a town it is. The first church he was a pastor at, and it's where I got baptized, is called a Union Church. Do you know what that is?
Mm-mm.
It is a church where each Sunday is a different denomination. Like it's so small. There's one church for the little town. And like, so he was only preaching one Sunday a month. Like the Baptist was on like Tuesday. And then the Methodist was on, not Tuesday, the second Sunday of the month. And then the Methodist. So it's really
I've never heard of
interesting.
That. Wow.
So
carousel process.
Yeah. We moved to Alabama, and that was his first time being like the head pastor at a church.
Yeah.
Lived there for a few years. Then we moved to Flora when I was in 8th grade. And so I graduated from Tri-County, from this area, I guess. But we kind of moved around a good bit. So I went to several different schools. Graduated from Tri-County, went to Mississippi State, and then graduated from Mississippi State in public relations. Moved to Memphis, where my husband was from and was living there at the time.
All right, slow down. Did you have a job when you were growing up?
Yes. So
besides passing the offering plate around?
Yeah, exactly. I did a lot of stuff at the church, running the little soundboard.
Right, I could totally see you doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, as soon as I started driving, it was like time to get a big girl job. And I had to pay for, which I've heard you talk about this before, with your kids wanting them to pay for car insurance, I think.
100%. My kids will pay the car insurance.
Yeah. And so my parents didn't do that. I wish they had, because it shocked me when I started paying car insurance, or insurance in general. I was like, what is this?
Right.
But I did have to pay anything I wanted to spend. Like if you want to go anywhere with your car, you need gas money, you got to work for that and, to eat out and stuff. And once I got a car, I was ready to go places with my friends. So I started working at Snow Biz in Flora.
Really?
Yep, making snow cones.
What's your favorite flavor? Tiger blood?
Tiger's blood or pina colada. I loved pina colada. So that was my first job. And then I also worked at Primo's for a little bit in Flora when it was still there. But Snow Biz, I worked, I think, all through high school. was trying to remember. I know 16, I think, until I graduated. And then I did babysitting jobs and stuff like that. But
Always doing something though, for the most part.
Yeah. And I was thinking about this too. I remember in 4th grade, I was thinking about like, when did I start wanting to become a business owner? And I don't know, and we'll get into that. But in 4th grade, I did get in trouble because me and my best friend made a business called Barrette Bows. And so it was like bobby pins, which are so cheap, and ribbon we got from Walmart. We'd cut it in a little bow and sell them. And we got in trouble from the teacher because the kids were using their snack money to pay us for our product. We would sell them in a Nike shoebox.
Got in trouble for that.
Yep. Because the parents were complaining because they were like, our kids don't have snack money. They're spending it on these bobby pins with ribbon tied
Sound like a
around it.
money-making problem to me. Goodness.
So that was my first job, I guess, in 4th grade. But
So that's your entrepreneurial spirit.
yeah,
Kinda
looking back,
surfacing.
right, it did start.
I feel like that's a common denominator with a lot of people that start businesses and stuff. I mean, you look back to, my parents used to make fun of me because I literally, when we were growing up, the guy across the street, I would go pick up rocks in his yard, go knock on his door and sell him his own rocks, And it's like, that doesn't just happen. Like that's coming from something.
Right.
So I think that's awesome that you ultimately leaned into that. But that's 100%
hilarious.
what that is. That's
It
an
is, yeah.
entrepreneurial drive surfacing at a young age. That's awesome. All right. So you got fired from the bobby pin entrepreneurial deal. And then that was 4th grade. Okay. So you had these snow biz, you worked at Primo. What'd you do at Primo's?
I was doing office stuff there.
Yeah.
Like filing papers.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And then what was your first car? Let me guess. I can nail this. White Nissan Altima
No.
with decals on the back. You worked at Primo, so that would be a Browning decal on the back glass, probably pink. Maybe a butterfly and maybe your initials on the back.
No. Heck no. But I did have that Browning is funny because I had this pink puffer Browning jacket with like the Browning logo on there. And I loved that thing. But no, my first car was a hand-me-down from my brother. And it was a black Pontiac Grand Prix.
I was close.
And I one time convinced my parents, I got A's and B's on my report card, which was really good for me because I wasn't the best in school. Like I loved working. School was just dragging me down.
Right.
And I was like, I got A's and B's on my report card. Could y'all buy me something? And for my car, and I just got it. And I convinced them to buy subs for me.
Oh,
so I had
goodness.
That's why when you were like a white Altima, like, no, brother. I had a black Pontiac Grand Prix with subs in the back.
So the windows were definitely tinted.
The windows were tinted. You could not see me. You could hear me, though, coming up the road.
I'm seeing this all come together now.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I have a past.
Oh, my goodness. All right. So okay.
So picture that.
So were you a DJ between then
and so funny you say
Pittman
that.
Marketing?
When I got to college and I got a laptop, I tried to be a DJ.
Oh my gosh.
I had this GarageBand software that comes with the Mac, and I was like, this would be so.
Just skip this step, jump into the professional world.
Right.
That's
all
hilarious.
that to say, I love music.
Yeah.
And
I'm the same way. I listen to music like 80% of the day.
Yeah. I'm always listening to music or podcast. But yeah, so interesting. There's more to me.
Wow. Yeah.
I hope I come off professional.
Yeah.
But and I am now. Like I have, I'm a mom. I don't have subs in my car anymore or anything. But so yes, that.
So you went to state.
Went to state.
You graduated in public relations. Did you have a job in college?
Yes, absolutely. So my parents. Besides DJing, that didn't make enough money. So my freshman year, going from Tri-County, Mississippi State was a big jump.
Yeah.
And my parents were like, you just get used to college your freshman year, which was great. I lived on campus and didn't work my freshman year. And then my first job, so I went to get an apartment, and it was around Christmas time, I think, is when you had to start signing leases for your sophomore year. So I went to get an apartment, and the guy that was touring me there, I got to know, like, kind of met him and some of the staff at that place. And they very much hire off, like, personality and just who you know is how they want to hire, and I agree with that. And so they were like, if you ever want to work here, you should apply. So I applied there, and it was a fantastic job. And I tell college students all the time, go work at your apartment complex, because I worked for my rent. And so I just a certain amount of hours just paid my rent. And then anything else, so the extra hours I worked, I made commission when I signed leases or renewed leases.
Yeah.
So it was really a great, like, financially a great job. But it was also, I lived there and I worked there, and it was right by campus.
Yeah.
So it was a really good setup.
Yeah.
And it taught me a lot about, I learned a lot of office type of stuff with the paperwork that we had to do, but then also dealing with people. You deal with people 24/7.
Right.
And that was really helpful. And not just my peers, but their parents, and dealing with angry parents, and just how you talk to people. I learned
conflict and
so much through that.
Yeah, at the time you didn't probably realize what you were exposing yourself to, but that's similarly. I was an RA in the dorms for 2 years, but I did it to pay for my room, room and board or whatever they call it. And so, but I got exposed to a lot of managing people, dealing with, all the things, but it was a really good job. To your point, you don't have to drive anywhere, and a lot of benefits with that. So yeah, that's a really good.
And I met so many people through that.
Right. Yeah.
We were talking the other day about, you were sending me a contact that I needed on your team, and everyone had realtor in their phone. I was like, I wonder how many people you have on your phone that say realtor. I have so many people on my phone that say The Point, because it was called The Point.
Right.
And because I just got to know so many people.
Yeah.
On the side, I did some photography. So I've always loved photography. And that was a good way to kind of make some extra cash. And then my senior year, I just wanted to do something different.
Did you know when you were going into college what you wanted to do when you came out?
No. And that's an interesting.
Which is, I feel like 90% of people.
No one does, yeah. I went in thinking I wanted to be a sports broadcaster, like every cool girl does.
Yeah, what's up? It makes total sense.
I wanted to be like Erin Andrews. They were like, it's really hard to become Erin Andrews, like impossible pretty much. And I was like, all right, well, that's fine. Like it was kind of, and the path to getting there was kind of crazy. So then I decided I want to do pre-dental, really random. And because it was just kind of a shot in the dark. Maybe I want to do this. Took one semester of that with all the sciences, and I was like, no, I'm out.
Which is probably good to call that out.
Yes. Yeah. Completely different field. So I was like, okay, I'm not doing anything medical. And I was really struggling with what to do. And my dad did some research on majors and kind of what field that you could go into. And he said, you should really look into public relations. Actually, he wanted me to be a realtor. And I was like, maybe one day. And that's always kind of been in the back of my mind. But I looked into public relations because he was like, you're really good with people. Like, I don't know if you recognize this about yourself, but you're good with people. You're good with relationships. You can talk to anybody. Just do that. It's a really good base major. And low-key, it's a really easy major, which I kind of needed.
Right.
Like, just let's do something that matches your skill set. You can graduate. You can go work, because you just need to go work. So I did public relations. It was a great major. It's a very good kind of base. And everything really goes back to public relations and the way we storytell and your reputation. I mean, that's huge. You can't market until you have a really good foundation there. So finally chose a major, and that's what it was.
Okay. So you did graduate.
Yes.
And when did you graduate?
2018.
Okay. What was the move when you graduated?
So my senior year of college, I decided I wanted to do something different. My friend was working at an ophthalmology clinic. And so I was like, I'm going to go do that. So by the way, the technicians at these places, they don't have school for it. You just get trained on the job. So I worked at this eye and laser clinic my senior year. And it was really cool, very interesting to learn all that. But I was like, hey, can I start doing y'all's marketing? Like, you don't have to pay me more. I'm just going to start doing it. Y'all don't market at all. And so in my spare time, when I wasn't doing like working up patients or doing like eye tests and stuff I really shouldn't, I didn't have any business doing.
Just giving people LASIK and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. He did LASIK there, and I got to sit in on that. I started doing their marketing. And that's kind of where I was like, all right, I see something here.
Right.
I have this PR background. I had done some marketing, and looking back.
This is before or after you graduated?
It's all before.
Okay.
So then I started applying for jobs. Applied to a ton of jobs my senior year, and then met one at a career fair at Mississippi State. And it was Hunter Fan Company that makes the ceiling fans.
Okay.
So they invented the ceiling fan. They're headquartered in Memphis. And I went to work for them in marketing. So I was doing social media and email marketing.
So that was your first.
That was my first job out of college.
Job out of college. Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. So you just got an apartment in Memphis?
Yeah, I was engaged my senior year, and we got married 6 months after I graduated.
Okay.
So we had a little rental house in Memphis. It was teeny tiny. And we lived there, and then we eventually bought a house a year later in Nesbitt, like Hernando area.
Yeah. So how long did you work at Hunter Fan?
2 years.
What's the coolest thing about a ceiling fan, or something that nobody knows? Give us some insight into the ceiling fan world.
Does everybody knows it common knowledge to know which direction it goes in summer and winter? Like in the summer, it goes counterclockwise. And in the winter, it goes clockwise because it pushes the hot air down in the summer. You know, that's important.
Somebody just learned that. Besides me, I learned that.
That's good. I was at an Airbnb a few months ago, and their fans were all the wrong way. And I texted, I'm like, I'm going to switch your fans around. I'm like, this is not working.
Do you mind if I put it on warm season flow here?
Yeah. But I still will walk into a place. I can be looking at pictures of houses online, walk into a restaurant, whatever, and I'm like, that's a Hunter fan. And it's kind of annoying, but not that I have anything against them. It's just like,
just walk into everybody's house and just look
fans.
up at the ceiling fan.
But it's just part of it. But that was it. So that was a larger marketing team. So my first job was like.
So you got exposed to corporate marketing.
Corporate marketing there. Yeah. With an in-house marketing team that was pretty big, around 30 people.
Wow.
And that was fantastic exposure.
Right.
And Hunter was really good and is really good at hiring young talent and really giving them exposure. And they trusted me to do things. Like, they let me manage projects. They let me just kind of take the lead. And that's where I started to really see my strengths and weaknesses and kind of what I started to see at a very young age. Okay, I have, like, God's given me some sort of leadership capability because I was able to do different things. So I'm like, okay, I'm doing things different than these people are doing them, my age or older. Like, how can I tap into that more? So I was doing social and email, and then they were really focusing on their e-commerce team. So that's really what our team focused on. Before, they were pretty much B2B, and they were just selling in big box stores. But then they started to do more e-commerce and sell directly to consumers. So everything we did was focused on that. And just kind of a different way to sell than they had been used to for years.
Wow.
So it was really cool. And we focused on selling on the website. So we did different campaigns that were tied to the website.
Interesting. All right. What was your move from there?
From there, I went to Armstrong Relocation, which is a moving company also headquartered in Memphis. And they rebranded at the time, and I got to be a part of that project, to the Armstrong Company. But so that was a completely different setup. So Hunter felt very corporate. Armstrong was a big company with 30 locations, but it was still, it didn't feel super corporate. They didn't operate corporate, but we worked for the shared services team, which technically was corporate.
Yeah.
They don't use that lingo, but that was a team of me and my boss. And my boss is the chief of staff. And so she's in a ton of different things throughout the business. So it's literally a one-man marketing team, 1 to 2 man marketing team. It's a completely different shift. Yeah. And there we outsourced different things, but a lot of it was just on my plate. And I learned so much through that.
How long were you there?
2 years.
All right.
2 years, then I started the agency. Now I'm here.
So you went from Armstrong to...
So at Armstrong, I started, I was a new mom then. And my son, I guess we can talk about that. I have a 4-year-old and twins. My 4-year-old's about to be 5. The twins are 7 months. And so once I started to become a mom, I was like, I would love some more flexibility. I grew up with my mom being a teacher, and we went home every day at 3. And I was getting home at 5:30 every day, and I was like, how could I just have a little more flexibility? Like, kids go to sleep so early, and then I have all this time. Like, what if I am off at 3, hang out with them till they go to sleep, work my extra few hours?
Yeah.
And I was like, so what if I just...
Be a realtor.
like, control my own schedule?
For sure.
So I was praying about that, and I started just on the side. I was also like, I could freelance for extra money.
Right.
So I'm just going to start freelancing, just really for extra money. And that started naturally growing.
That was that entrepreneurial bug, showing back up,
Right.
doing it on the side.
Right.
Okay.
And I just kept getting more clients. And I was praying for like...
This is why you're at Armstrong.
Yes. And so I was working all day at my corporate job, 8 to 5. And then my son would go to sleep, and then I would work for hours doing freelance stuff. So just kind of working all the time. And I was working until I'd listened to podcasts and gotten advice from people. It's like, do your side hustle till you can't do it anymore.
Cannot say
like
that
you
enough.
can't, you don't have another second of the day.
Yes.
So I kept taking on clients, and it got to a point where I gotta do something.
Something's got to give. Yeah.
So I went to Armstrong and told them, like, I've been praying about this. This is the direction.
This is when y'all are living in Nesbitt?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the direction I feel like God's leading me. And here's another thing that's really important. I was at, the ABZ method or framework. It's like you are at A, and Z is where you want to be, and B is your next step. And you just need to focus on B, and everything else will fall into place. So I was at A. Z was...
Pittman Marketing?
Well, I didn't even know that at the time.
Okay.
I knew I wanted flexibility.
Yes.
I wanted to own my own schedule, do marketing, and just maybe be my own boss. I don't know.
And be a mom. Yeah.
Yeah, and be a mom, be really present for my kids while I still have them under my roof. And so the next step was just freelance. And so I was like, I could cater to these small businesses, local. I can do that and make up for my income at Armstrong. So I started to do that, and I went to them, and I have a great relationship with them and really respect everyone there. And was like, I love this job. I love y'all. This is what my family needs. What if I go part-time for a while I do this? I can help you find someone else. I can help you train someone else. What does it look like for us to meet halfway? Because this is where I'm headed, but I don't just want to leave y'all high and dry. And it was also beneficial to me to go part-time and still have that income while I didn't have another second to keep doing it. But so that was my path. So I was part-time for a few months.
So you proposed that, and they did it? They agreed to it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They did it. They said, that sounds good. Ended up with me getting ready to leave, we needed 2 spots to fill what I was doing. And so I helped them hire those 2 people that replaced me and helped train them for about a month. And then around that time is when my husband got a new job here, and we moved here.
And what was he doing?
He's in banking. So he took a job with JP Morgan, Chase, and they were trying to grow this market.
Yeah.
And so that moved us here.
Okay.
So it's kind of all God's timing.
Yeah.
That was
so
October of 23.
Wow. So, yeah. All right. So you found B, and you're going to Z. So you got your part-time, you got your freelance up, you're working with different businesses, you get moved down here, you didn't have the twins till you were down here. So you had one kid at the time, moved down here. How was that transition moving down here? Was that you grew up moving around, so it probably wasn't.
It was pretty easy for me.
Yeah.
Like, I love this area. My husband had never lived anywhere other than Olive Branch, Mississippi.
Okay, that's where he's from.
And going to Mississippi State, that was it.
Yeah.
So I think he had a bigger adjustment,
Yeah.
but he loves this area almost more than I do. Because I've asked him, like, we're a few years in, like, do you ever think about moving? And he's like, no, I want to
Yeah.
stay here. It's a great place to be.
Yeah, it is.
So I was excited when he found that job. I was like, yeah, let's do it.
So you moved down here, and then
And the business was very new. So I had a few
when did you
clients.
start Pittman Marketing?
I started freelancing the fall of 22. My LLC was incorporated in March of 23.
Okay.
That's almost 3 years old. So I just had a handful of clients. I moved down here, had some connections from living here. I'm like, I can move my business wherever. And Madison would be a great place because I know people there.
Right.
So then I just started from there.
Yeah.
And hired my first person after a year. And that decision was tough because, and I talked to freelancer, every freelancer, it seems like, has this issue. They get at max capacity so quick. And it's like, do I hire someone else and figure that out? Or do I just tell people no? And no one wants to tell people no. Like, if it's good work, you want to do it. But there's not enough hours in the day. So
That's a big problem. I mean, I've ran into that just solely individual. Like, we've got the brokerage, and then we've got all the agents. But like me personally, selling real estate is a business. Running a brokerage is a business. So like my individual business of me selling real estate, like I've been at that point numerous times in my career of full capacity to where like there's not enough hours in the day. The next move is to hire somebody basically to work alongside me personally. But then, I mean, that's a whole nother situation. I mean, then you're managing people,
Right.
which I mean, I'm already managing people on the brokerage side, but it's just do you want to take it to the next level and grow, or do you want to be really good at your craft and treat or, cater to the people that you can? Because
yeah,
when you grow, you have to delegate by default. And that's something I'm not good at. And it's like, as you grow and you delegate, you're going to lose some of your touch on some of this stuff because nobody's going to do it the way you want to do
right.
it. And I've struggled with
And
that
your
a lot of
business is
times.
based off of you and the way you do things.
And your reputation.
So what's kept you from making that jump? Just that? No, like knowing, looking within and being like,
I'm not, I mean, I'll say
delegate.
it out loud. I'm not good at delegating, and I'm not, I am a micromanager. So like and I've told people this a lot of times, is real estate works for me because our agents are 1099. So like,
Yeah.
I only pay an agent whenever they sell something. If it was W-2 and I was paying them for 40 hours, I'd probably spend 40 hours making sure they were working 40 hours. That's just like the micromanager in me.
Yeah.
That's why real estate works so good for me. It's like, I tell our agents, I don't care if you go into hibernation. It doesn't matter to me because I'm only paying you whenever you sell something, So that eliminates the having to call them and wake them up and what are you doing today and who have you called? Like it's,
Yeah.
But that's, I could have grown my individual sales by doing that, delegating, but it's just not, and I don't regret never doing that. I mean, I have never had an assistant, an office manager. I've never had that in my whole entire career. And people they're like,
That's
there
impressive.
ain't no way. And I'm like, I promise you, I do. I literally touch every bit of my file all the way from the earnest money to, I mean, it's call it a control freak or a micromanager or whatever. And pro or con, who knows? I mean, but I know everything about my deals, like I'm
Right.
but that's just how I've been. And I don't really regret it, but it does stunt the potential to grow if that's what the plan is, So
Yeah.
there's some people that are really good at delegating, got no problem with it. And I've got a weird, it's just like, I don't know. Like I almost feel bad giving somebody a job. And I'm like, let me just do it for you. Like, I don't want you to have to do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just a weird
That's
flaw.
been a
It's a
learning
flaw, I
curve
think. But
for me, for sure.
yeah.
That could be why you've been so successful, though, too. Like, kind of just knowing, like, not having someone in to help. Because then it gets wobbly, especially if
Well,
you're
somebody's
going to
fumble the ball. If you hand it
Yeah.
off, the ball's getting fumbled.
Yeah.
And then you're playing clean up. And I mean, there's so many things Mm-hmm. I mean, that's how I've talked myself into not handing the ball off.
I think that's really important because I was talking to, truly have this conversation often with freelancers that were in my position 2 years ago when I was like, I either have to start saying no to clients or hire people. And you have to, I did not. I mean, I'm glad it worked out for me, but I did not really look within and be like, do I like to delegate? Do I want to manage people? I was just like, I need someone else, or I have to start telling these people no. So the solution is hire this, tell them yes, figure it out. And now I'm learning all this stuff, but
forcing yourself into that, like if I just forced myself into it, I'd figure it out. I agree.
For sure.
That's the only way to do that because you can talk yourself out of it. But you have to go into it knowing that your scope of work is going to change.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's like if I was an HVAC guy and I loved working on air conditioners and that was my passion, but I also wanted to grow a business. Like as I'm growing, I have to hire technicians, and you get to the point where you're not even the one touching the HVAC unit anymore. You're dealing with people and managing people, and it's like you got to know that you're signing up for running a business.
Right.
And like if you have zero passion in that, maybe you should just stay a one-man shop or whatever, you know.
Right.
But that's a big pain point, and it's like, but I do think you need to be either all in or, out or all in.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to make the jump, then grow the business, you know, or if you're going to be really good at it, just hone your craft and be the best. I mean, because you're going to continue to get work by word of mouth, you know. So.
Yep, that's what I was telling one of my friends the other day. It was like, if you don't want to manage people, if you don't want to run a business, if you want to just freelance, do that. Be selective with your clients, up your prices, and just keep going.
Yeah. All right, so
it's different.
We're about to the end of the first part of this episode, but tell us, fast forward to now, Pittman Marketing, just what does that look like? What all marketing services do you offer? How many people you got now? What's fast forward to right now? Where you at? And do you have any big plans?
Yes. So we offer branding, websites, and social media. And that started kind of how just what does small local businesses need and how can we be there for them? And so a lot of them need branding, and they need a simple, good, solid website, and they need a social media presence and things like their Google listing and stuff like that. So a lot of it was started with how do we help people who are right here in our backyard, that we're going to be more competitively priced than a very large agency that's going after other people. And the other part of it is corporate support. So we do work with bigger corporations to act kind of as an extension of their team. And we'll help them with like social media or graphic design, different documents, video stuff. So that's what we offer. It's myself and then two other people full-time, Riley and Natalie. Riley is here. Focuses on our social media.
Producer.
Yeah, our new podcast producer. She focuses on social media. Natalie focuses on branding and websites. And then we have different contractors that we will work with if we need to, and then different partners that we would refer people to, like other video partners, apparel, stuff like that. Yeah. We are about to move into an office. We just rebranded. We rebranded a few weeks ago, got a new website. We're moving into an office. It'll be our first office space. And I guess that's the biggest things for 2026.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I guess in the second part, we'll talk about, I want to hear about the rebrand, what spurred the rebrand.
Yeah, we can talk about the rebrand. Because I know there's a motive there.
You didn't just wake up bored.
100%.
Awesome.
Yeah, we can talk about that in a little bit. Kind of just what we're seeing with marketing in 2026, knowing a lot of these listeners are business owners.
That's awesome. All right, Hannah, thank you for coming from behind the camera and in front of the camera. Looking forward to co-hosting with you and ready to hear the second part. We'll dive into some marketing strategies.
Sounds good.
Thank you.